Hey guys, I am back from Frontier, and it kind of took me a while to make my decisions and make my purchases, but it was definitely worth it because most of the time when I go to a nursery or a garden center or anywhere, I kind of know what they're probably going to have, like a general idea, and so from there, from that knowledge, I can kind of decide what it is I'm gonna buy, and so that's usually my decision maker is just knowing what they have. However, Frontier, I had no idea what they were going to have since it was it's kind of a small place, and I wasn't sure exactly what to expect from it, just because there weren't too many pictures or too many like reviews or anything. They're kind of a small business with that's local, and it's not very big, and there's not a lot of employees, but they really do enjoy their job and they really are good at it. So, and their selection was shockingly large, especially for such a small place. Not only that, but what I got was stuff that I've never seen anywhere. Matter of fact, I think every single plant that I purchased, um, I've only ever seen at Frontier. And I'll be able to confirm that now. So we'll start with this bag here. I got a Hoya carnosa variegata. So basically, when I have three different species, cultivars, varieties, whatever, three different types of a plant that's in the same genus, or if I have or like same family, if it's like, let's say I have whatchamacallits, if I have like three different types of mother of thousands and two of them are bryophyllums and one of them is an actual kalanchoe, then I'll still count that as a collection. Or if I have like three different cacti, I'll count that as a small collection. Three different succulents, that's a collection. But basically, it usually just like goes by like family or like genus. So my Hoyas are now, well, they already were a collection because I had three different types, but I added to the collection with this Hoya carnosa variegata, which is really pretty. There's a stem here that is all white. Look at these leaves, and then there's some that have like kind of a cream color and several different types of green, and this one has some pink on it as well. And I just think this is such a beautiful plant. Really glad I got it. So I got that. Let's see. I got this African violet. Their African violets that they have, there was such a good selection, and that's because they were from, they were from Violet Barn, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where else they could be from. I don't know why there's an H on it exactly, but here, let me see if it says on this tag. But I do know that one of the violets that I purchased was one of Rob's hybrids, and I know that the Rob's hybrids are from Violet Barn, and so I know that these violets came from Violet Barn. I'm not sure what these tags are, if that's what their logo is. I'd have to look again. But anyways, I'll show you my other African violets in a second. I want to finish this bag. I got this guy here, Haworthia. I think the species starts with an R. And it's another transparent one. I also have a Haworthia cooperi, which is really nice, but it's transparent, and that's because where they're native to, and I forget what that is, they actually spend almost all their life kind of just like buried almost entirely in sand. So these like little windows are the only way that they actually get light. So that's kind of an interesting fact. And then lastly, in this bag, I got another Haworthia. So now that I have this, the Haworthia cooperi, and also my zebra Haworthia, I also got this one, Haworthia limifolia, which is also called fairy washboard, and it's got a really cool texture. I want to also get one that is variegated because I know that these come in a variegated one, but this guy's got a pup, and I just noticed it on the way home. I was looking and it had a pup, so I'm really happy about that. So that's the first bag. The next bag, you already saw this guy here, the Echeveria setosa diminuta, which is a really pretty kind of fuzzy Echeveria. It's got hairs. It's not really completely soft, but it's pretty soft, and I like it a lot. It's a nice one. This one was really cheap, like $2.39. And then I also have the rest of the African violets I purchased. I got the only African violets I've ever owned up until now have been standards, and I got two standards. I got this one, Green Rose, and I also got Alamo Explosion, and which is a double as well, and it's just so pretty. Like, I couldn't resist it. And then I also got two miniatures, and one of them is a miniature trailer, so now I can technically say I've had a miniature and a trailer, so I've had all the African Violet groups. There is this one, which is called Classic Rock, and then the last one I got was Rob's Vanilla Trail, and you can see that there's plenty of little pups or suckers that are forming around the base. With this guy, there's a couple of pups, or the little suckers that are on here, and I'm going to have to divide those off because it will take away from the shape of the plant and make them bloom less, because they're putting more energy into the suckers. But the trailing ones do just fine when you don't divide them. In fact, they only trail if you don't divide them, which is great. And I've heard they're really fast growers and really easy to grow, so that's a good thing, because I'm still not entirely great with African violets. So the last two plants that I got are bigger, and I'll show you this one first, because this one's probably not too much of a shock. Well, it is, because I didn't expect to get one of these, especially not of this size. Hoya carnosa tricolor, and this thing is so gorgeous. Look at these. Some of these leaves in here are pink, and on this guy there's also a couple of, if I can find where they were. Here's one of them. There's a bloom spike here, which I can't wait to get some blooms on this thing, because they'll smell so good, and they'll be so pretty. But yeah, just look at this. This foliage is just to die for. There's another bloom spike that was here somewhere. One thing I learned about Hoyas is to be careful when you prune them, because if you cut off a bloom spike, it won't bloom as much, because they bloom, the next time it blooms, it won't have as many blooms, because they tend to flower on the same bloom spikes every year. Here's the other one. So don't cut them off, and also don't cut off these kind of long stems, because new growth will appear from those. But yeah, so that's my other Hoya. And it's really nice. It's in a hanging basket. It's really big. And then, lastly, this is kind of shocking because I wasn't expecting to get anything like this, but I did. I got a banana tree. I got a dwarf Cavendish banana, and I saw it at the beginning, and I was laughing because I'm like, yeah, that's something I will never get. And then at the end, I'm like, you know what, I want it. So, and unfortunately, like, my phone had died by that point, so I couldn't really, like, total up the amount that it would cost. And I don't bring all of my money ever. I only bring, I kind of have to, like, keep myself to just, like, a limited amount of money, just so that I don't, like, spend everything I have. So, because that will happen if I bring all of my money. Like, I have so very little self-control when it comes to these plants. But, so I only brought as much as, I only brought about $50. I didn't want to spend any more than that. So, I kind of just threw it in the cart, and I'm like, there's not going to be, not even a cart, because they only have baskets. So I'm like, there's not going to be, I might have to put, one or two plants back, which I did. I had a Dracaena marginata and a variegated Peperomia obtusifolia, but I had to put those back just because I went over, and I'm like, they're so common, I can get those two things easily again in the future. But basically, these are all plants that I've never seen anywhere else, in any other garden center that I've ever gone to, or a nursery or hardware store. I've never seen these specific types or varieties or species or whatever of these plants, and they were all new to me. In fact, a lot of the stuff that I'd seen there was kind of new to me, and I'm very surprised that I've never seen a lot of this stuff. And I'm definitely going to be going to Frontier again, because most of the plants that that my grandma gave me for Christmas are from Frontier, and she said that's where she thought she got them, but she wasn't quite sure. But looking here, these are the exact same pots and some similar types of plants, so I can see that she probably did buy my Haworthia Cooperi from there, just because, same pots, exact same size, exact same type, and they're a lot of different types of Haworthias, and unless there's a lot of different types of Haworthias, you probably won't find a Cooperi. And then also because of some of the other plants they carried, it's just like, yeah, it seems like this is probably the place. And the crazy thing too is that she also got me a variegated Hindu rope Hoya, and they didn't have that one there when I went there, nor did they have the Horthia Cooperi, which is crazy because they also had some other really interesting stuff that I'd never seen before, such as this guy, and this guy, which are two Horthias and a Hoya that are actually a little bit similar, but still different species, still different types, and that's really cool because that means not only do they have some really unique plants that are hard to find, they have some unique plants that are hard to find, and they have so many of them, so many different kinds at different times of the year. So you know what? I'll go there, a lot, and I'll probably be surprised at some things that I see there every single time, which is exactly what I've been looking for. And I'll still go to Culver's because I love them a lot. It's a great place. But Frontier, I will say, is a fantastic place to go. Just from that one time, I can already tell there's going to be a lot of trips there, especially for outdoor stuff too, because they have perennials for like $5. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about the matter. This is Frontier's a great place. I'll say that right now, no hesitation. Great place. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Excellent variety. They're all in excellent condition. There's a really great selection, some beautiful choices, and great prices, and I couldn't have been more satisfied. So if you're in the area and you want to find somewhere to get plants, I would say Frontier is definitely a great place to go. Bye, guys.